Humans, I am your herald of the gods. Look at it. Look at it. Now look at me. And welcome back to the Culture Guys channel with your boy Mike. So big news, major news, bars. Jonathan Majors' ex has dropped the charges. Okay, so if you've been hiding under a rock, let's run it back. Jonathan Majors, he was accused of domestic violence, I want to say earlier this year. So it was like before summertime. And then I think the trial went through summer, if I'm not mistaken. And he was accused of reckless assault and harassment. His ex has dropped the charges. Okay, I want to say it was a reckless assault and harassment is what he was accused of, and he was charged with I think it was like domestic violence and harassment, or harassment and something else. But what I will say is that as soon as those charges came down, Disney dropped him the instant that he was convicted and found guilty, and he had to serve a year of, I think he had to go through like these domestic violence classes or something like that. Kind of like it would be like anger management, basically. She accused him. I'm not even gonna say her name for real, because it's not that I'm kind of taking sides, but what I will say is there's two sides to every story, right? And I don't want to dive deep into this shit because I am not TMZ. You want the scoop, you want the tea, you go to those sites and you go to those channels. This is not the place for any of that bullshit. But what I will say is why this is a major thing is because, he was lined up to be Kang. Well, he was Kang. He was going to be the next big bad in the MCU. That was going to mean a lot of big things for him and his career, even though his career was already, out of here. It was on the way up. But when Marvel recruits you, that's a big thing, especially in the phases that they were in at the time, before things started going straight downhill. So we never see cases. I mean, everybody's seen the video by now, bro. And I keep thinking back on this shit, like, bro, my man is on video running away from the situation. Not only that, she's chasing this nigga down the street, around corners, through city blocks and shit. They got it all on video, and yet he still was found guilty. Something happened in the car. I guess he was caught cheating, and she saw him texting somebody. She snatched the phone. He tried to get it back. You know what I'm saying? It feel like a toxic relationship in general between the two. But again, relationships wise, whatever, my man is good. He done moved on, got him a new queen. You know what I'm saying? Came on back to the other side, if you feel me. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they're doing great now. You know what I'm saying? So with that out of the way, Disney dropped him. So they had to kind of move on and figure out some other things in terms of the big bad, the next MCU villain, since they let go of Kang. Now, Majors did hint at the idea that he would love to come back to Disney if they would have him. You know what I'm saying? And he seemed sincere about it, because it seemed like, he felt like he missed out. I think this was a missed opportunity for him. Disney felt like, damn, man, we had this all. I really feel like Disney be flying, like freestyling all this shit for real. But I do know that they have a lot of creatives, a lot of writers, so they can, if they have to switch tracks in the middle of some shit, then they can do that. And if you're dealing with a universe as large as Marvel, then you've got so many other ways you can go. What I think, so everybody's thinking like, what now? You know what I'm saying? Does Disney pick him back up? Could they pick him back up? Would they want to? First of all, I feel like they owe him an apology. That's number one, because yeah, he was still found guilty of one thing, and it was very minor. He never really committed domestic violence in terms of like beating her or hurting her or anything like that. But there was some mental stuff going on, I guess. And I think, again, they just had a toxic relationship. They both abused each other in ways, emotionally and mentally. You put somebody through some shit like that, in the end, and then try to like go to the cops and go to the police knowing damn well you were doing shit just as foul to that person or even poking the bear to get them to do that. I think your ass deserves to be locked up too. You know what I'm saying? Or deserves to be charged with some shit. But anyway, that's a whole nother story for another video. Not my video though. Not on this channel. I think, what now in terms of where does he go? Marvel and DC are doing this battle of the big actors, right? It seems like they're trying to recruit the biggest actors they can in this next wave of whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? We got, we got Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? We got, I'm trying to think of who else was one of the big names that they've tried to recruit. But anyway, they got so many names now that they're throwing out there to try to entice people over to one side or another one. You know what I'm saying? With Denzel Washington being over and doing, being written into Black Panther 3, like, come on now, the brothers is winning out here for real. Like, we might have lost, took an L with Jonathan Majors, but it's like, yo, we're going to just go ahead and get another A-list black actor over here. And that may, I don't know, I'm not a pandering type of dude. So, I don't want to say it's pandering for real. I really wholeheartedly believe that Denzel and Disney work something out. And Ryan Coogler is, a great writer, first of all. And he's very creative. So I'm sure that he didn't just pull Denzel because he's a big name. I'm sure the star power adds to it. I'd love to see Jonathan Majors back in there doing his thing as Kang again, you know what I'm saying? But Marvel doesn't have to go back to Kang the Conqueror. At this point, to be honest with you, to be real with you, bro, I'm kind of over it now that Marvel's moved on in another direction, especially now that they're putting all these universes together. So let's give you the rundown right quick. You got the X-Men universe, you got the Spider-Man universe, you got the Fantastic Four universe, and then you got Marvel, every character from the Marvel Phase 5, Avengers, all that stuff. And that was a lot of characters. If you remember watching Endgame, that was a lot of people already. And now you're about to add the X-Men universe into it too, and the Spider-Man universe. That's insane. So you got Noel the Conqueror, you got Apocalypse, you got Thanos. You can still bring Thanos back, for real. You can do an alternate multi-universe thing, bring him back. You got Magneto, you got Doctor Doom, and all the other henchmen that, and kind of B-list villains out there. There's so many. And then you think about this. You take Apocalypse, Thanos, Doctor Doom, probably not Noel because he's his own thing. He's like, my man has just got his own agenda. But you take any of those villains and do a team up. Think about that. If you took all the villains, the big villains, because that's a lot of universes and a lot of characters to be under one umbrella, who the fuck would they be fighting? They're not gonna fight Galactus. You know what I'm saying? Galactus he can die, but I mean, I guess Galactus could be a big bad that they could fight all together, that it would make sense. But I personally think that they've got more than enough characters to go through, more than enough, comic book lore and history that they can flip through. And like I said, something that's never been done on screen, think about it, is 4 or 5 or 6 of the big bads from the Fantastic Four, X-Men, Marvel, Avengers, and the Spider-Man universe, and put them together as a team. I think we might have some, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my thoughts on the thing. I don't want to get too long-winded on this Jonathan Majors thing. I'm just happy for my boy that at least the civil case was dropped, which says a lot. I mean, they could have settled out of court probably paid her off. That's possible, you know what I'm saying? I don't see how that would even be a thing at this point when Disney said they've moved on. Everybody that was on his squad, his PR team, dropped him, and he's moved on to a whole new relationship, and it seems like he's thriving. So maybe it didn't hurt to make it kind of look like, okay, she's dropping the charges to make him look better so he can get work in Hollywood again. Or maybe he didn't do half the shit that she claimed he did. You know what I'm saying? That's not for me to judge. Hey, man, let me know what you think. Get down in the comment section. I'll see y'all in the next video. You better pull up. Don't do it for me. Do it for the gods.